All right, we live. Let's do the Sabbath service. Today is the Sabbath. Um, brothers up here. I'm gonna imagine. Now. Sorry, face me. Sorry.
Laya Sharala.
Sorry, face me. Sorry. All right. It's like okay. All right. We're gonna Panya Hakwadam, which means face the east. Throw up these prayers in Hebrew. Make sure your incense are burning. Let me make sure the sound is right. Testing. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll pray them in the Hebrew, and then Priest Design will pray them in English. The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Laba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Bethinlanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kabawathnawa, Salaknawa, Kabawathinawa, Wala'ah, Habiyadnawa, Anisayawan, Abal, Habashaynawa, Mayan, Rai, Hayah, Laka, Amalakwath, Baha'ala, Vataparath, La'alumium, Amun.
The Lord's Prayer in the English.
Our Father,
which art in heaven.
Hallowed
be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Thy
kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Hakak, or the power. Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Babakushab, Bethelanawa, Hakat, Rapa'ah, Call, Makala, Wakal, Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha, Mazrayim, Hakak, Lahaquayim, Hamathium, Hakak, Isle, Rakawath, Atamala, Lagarashan, Basham, Yahushai, Thawada, Amun. Hakak is the power in the English.
Yahweh,
in the name of
Yahushai.
Please
give us the power.
The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you.
So be it. The blessings, Barakatah Yahweh.
It's like Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahushai, Wa Me'aka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Wa Tazab Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Ha-Alawapim, Ha-Saranyim, Ha-Kwatazayunyim, Ha-Kayayoyim, Wa Ha-Akwathim, Yahweh, Wa Hashem, Yahushai, the water, Amen.
The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And
Yahushai.
And Mike. And the angel. Commanding General Yohanan. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
So
be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, All, Aharyam, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Ayatan, Lamawat, Regalka, All, Yanuam, Shemarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanuam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shalmar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tizalka, Ayad, Yaminka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarach, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazathka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'ita, Wa'ai, Iwalam.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
From all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim, all, Damiyah, Lakah, all, Lakarash, all, Ashakwat, all, Kaya, Hana, Awayabika, Yahamayawan, Ra'ash, Al, Imaka, Yaayamwa, Sawada, Wayata, Yai, Tazawa, Al, Tazapawanika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magaya, Wala, Yazakar, Sham, Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Nawa, Tazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Alaya, Adawam, Wa, Yashma'alim, Mawaba, Bahagariam, Gabal, Waimwan, Waimlak, Palashath, Ain, Yashabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Aimum, Hayawa, Zerawai, Labunya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sarah, Kayabian, Banakal, Koyashwan, Neshamadwa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Yaman, Ladma, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kaira, Kazaba, Kazabach, Katazal, Manai, Kal, Asayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nairasha, Lanawa, Af, Nawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapunya, Rakha, Kaash, Labaira, Yaira, Wa, Kalaba, Alahat, Haryam, Kun, Naradapma, Basiraka, Wabasa, Wapathka, Labalam, Malaa, Punyaham, Pulawan, Waya, Lakwashwa, Shumka, Yahawah, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahalwa, Adyai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Iowa, Kaya, Ata, Shimka, Yahawah, Labadka, Aywan, Alka, Rataza.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted.
And consulted
against thy hidden.
Against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
They have said.
Come.
And
let us cut them off.
And let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel.
May be no more remembered.
May be no more in remembrance.
But they have consulted together.
But they have consulted together.
With one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against.
They are confederate against.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
Gabal.
And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And
Amalek.
The Philistines.
The
inhabitants of Tyre.
The inhabitants of Tyre.
But so also was joined with them.
also was joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
life. They
life.
have hope in the children of life.
Salah. Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the
As
Midianites.
to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like Zaid.
And like Zaid.
Yea. All their princes. All their princes. As Zabah.
And as Almunah.
Who said.
Let
us take to ourselves.
The
house of God.
The house of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Oh my God, make them like a wheel.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame set the mountains on fire.
And as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
With
thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
With
thy storm.
Fill
their faces with shame.
That
they may seek thy name.
Oh Lord.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled. Forever.
Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Whose name alone. Is Yahweh. Art the Most High.
Water. Sorry. right. Yeshabim, you may be seated. We're going to go over Exodus, the 20th chapter. We're going to read the first 7 verses in the Hebrew. And then we'll get into it in the English and break it down, all right?
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayada ba'ad ala yam ath. Let's see. Ka'al hadaba ya'am. Let's see. Ha'ala'a la'amad ta ada. It's like it. Anabya Yahweh. Allah. Let's see. Allah Ya'an Ashad Hayataza Thayad my Slakia Ma Da'ai Mataza Wayam Maka'af I ba Abadium La'a Yahweh. Let's see. La Yahweh. Let's see. La'ad Alahayim Akayam Al Panya Al Panya La'a Thai Sha'a La'an Pata'al Ya. Let me see. Waba'al Thum Ya Na'a Ashad Ma. It's like yeah. Kasham Mayam Ma'ail Ya'asha'ad Ka Da'ai Matha Ka'ath. Let's see. Ya'asha'ad Kam it's like yeah. Kam Mayam Matha Ka'ath La'a. It's like it. La'a Da'ai La'a Tasha Thaka Ya'a La'am. Let's see. La'a Tha'ai Madam Kaya Anabaya Yahweh Allah Haya'ad all. Let's see. Kwanya Pakwa'ad. Let's see. Ayan Aban Ayo Man Salakia Ka Nayam Ayo Shala. Let's see. Shala Shayam. Let's see. Ya Ayo Raka Ayam Lasha Shanya Ya I Sha'a Ka Ta'ad La Payam La. Let's see. La Hamaya Yalasham Madya Mataza Yathaya Ta La'a Thasha'a Af Sham Yahweh Allah Ya'an Lasha Ya'a. It's like it. Yasha. Okay. So that's the last one. Kaya La'a Yana Pa. It's like it. Yana Kwa'a Yahweh Af Asha'ad Yasha'a Af Shamya Lasha Ya'an Pa'a. That's it.
All right, let's read it in English. Exodus chapter 20.
Oh, God. Exodus.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1 in the English. And God spake all these words, saying, verse 2, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Verse 4.
Right. So the first commandment that the Most High gave the children of Israel is to have no other God besides the Most High. Have no other. And why did he say that? It's because we just came from a captivity and from being under a people who practiced having many gods. The sun, animals, you name it. They had a god for it. The river, diseases. The Egyptians worshipped everything. You understand? They had all kind of funky images and, graphics and hieroglyphics on the wall that symbolize these different gods. You had a god for the wind, a god for water, a god for destruction, a god for birth, a god for, you understand? And the stories behind those guys. Good night, right? The Most High said, "You should have no other god before me." You know why he said? You know why he said that too? Because blacks and Hispanics worship many gods, even today. We worship many gods. That's why when Moses, was up in that mountain, what did they want to do? They wanted to see something. They wanted to see something, and so they pressed Aaron and vexed him, and pushed him into a corner to gather all of their gold that they brought from Egypt, and to make a golden calf. And then they said, "Look, behold our God who brought us out of Egypt." They learned that from the Egyptians, and the Most High was ready to destroy all of Israel except the Levites. Tribe of Levi, because he was going to preserve Moses, and he was going to have Moses Mashayim or Mosesites. You understand?
Good night.
Like the Most High was ready. We was smoking the Most High's nose at one point, but Moses pled on our behalf, for the Lord to have mercy on us, and he did. But the point is, having whatever you put before the Most High is, that's what you really worship, man. What do you prioritize? What do you put first? You understand? What is the most important thing to you? What do you care? Who do you care about serving more? The Most High, or your birthday, or your family that is seducing you and attempting to get you to celebrate Christmas or come to the Thanksgiving dinner? That's their God. And if you go, you put in another God before the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You see that? Keep going.
Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above,
right,
or that is in the earth beneath.
Right. Now, does that mean you can't have an image like how we got these lion heads? Does that mean you can't have images? No, that's not what that means. That means I'm not going to take this home, put it in a nice room by itself, with candles lit all around it,
right,
and pray to this, and bow down before every make a ritual. When I first wake up, before I brush my teeth, I bow down to that image. No, that's not what we do. That don't mean you can't take pictures. Some fake Israelites say you can't even take pictures.
Good night. If I may, Adawan, real quick, because I know there's a lot of lost brothers and sisters out there. Like what the priest is bringing up is heavy, because when it says a graven image, a lot of people don't understand what that means. A graven image, like you just gave an example, is something that you're worshiping. Like perfect example, King Solomon, he had lion statues and, he had lion heads around and stuff like that. Was he sinning because of that? No. Now, if he were to, like you said, pray to these statues and worship it as if it is the Most High, which clearly it's not, then that would be a sin. You're making a false god, which is exactly what Aaron was forced to do when we were brought up out of Egypt, because like you said, we wanted something physical. We wanted to see the Most High. What the Lord was doing for us wasn't good enough. So what did Aaron do? He made that golden calf, and we made altars of it and all that nonsense, even though we knew that was not the Most High. But because Israel is stiff-necked, that's in the scriptures, we decided that this is what we wanted. This is what we were going to do to satisfy us. One more thing before I end it, just so we're clear. I mean, we said this like 1,000 times already. This is not the Star of Molech, as a lot of people want to believe. Okay, this is not a star. Okay, this is the Shield of David. This is Magan Dawodah. Okay, this is not a sin to have the Shield of David. Now, if we were to have the Shield of David and worship the symbol of the Shield of David, then that would be worshiping something that is a graven image. But that is not what it is. It's like if you got a Nike symbol on your shoes. That's not it's not a sin. Now, if you worshiping the shoe, then you got bigger problems ahead of you. I don't know what's going on with you. That's all I got on that, sir.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Go ahead.
Khan. Verse 4. Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
And that's what we should be looking for. We should be looking for the mercy of the Most High, the mercy of God. Every day we should be looking for the mercy of God, doing everything that we can in our power to reserve mercy from the Most High. Because look, I mean, we've led horrible lives up until coming into the truth. Like the fact that you're in the truth, know the truth, doing your 90 days is humbling in the thought, in the aspect of the Most High didn't have to wake you up. Most High didn't have to. There's so many people. Think about all the people you tell the truth to, and they still get tattoos and get high and, commit sexual immorality and smoke cigarettes. Like they heard the truth just like you heard the truth, but you had an ear to hear and you heard and you decided to change your life. That's not of yourself. That's of the Lord's mercies. Right. And say that in Lamentations, the 3rd chapter, that it is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed. Hell, it's of the Lord's mercies, even through all of the rape, robbing, murder, slavery, captivity, and hardcore bondage that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans went through. It's of God's mercies that we're still a people, that we're still a nation of people, that Native Americans exist still, that Black people still exist, that Jamaicans still exist, that Guatemalans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Salvadorians, you understand, still exist. That's of God's mercies. You understand? That's the Most High being merciful. And the fact that you made it through all of that, and now in this day and age, in the end of the world, brother, the world is ending. Right. The world is ending. You see what's going on in the world. You see all the signs of the times, like they say, and it's evident that we're in the end. And you know the truth, and you're in the truth. That's mercy from God, and we should. And how do you but how do you obtain the mercy of God? We just read it, by keeping His commandments, by keeping His law, statutes, commandments, not by doing what you want to do, but by fearing God. You have to fear God. I don't know if I talk about that enough. You oh, okay, I keep the commandments. Okay, you have to fear God. You have to fear what will happen to you if you don't keep the commandments. You have to have a healthy fear of the Most High. Keep going.
Sir. Verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Right, and you're not supposed to take the name of the Most High in vain, right? What's an example of taking it? Like the name of the Most High is not my password to my email. The name of the Most High is not my password to my computer. The name of the Most High, I don't tag it on the freeway. I don't draw it on my, binder. I don't even write it.
Right.
I really don't, unless it's in the credo or for edification purposes. I'm teaching the Hebrew class. Other than that, brother, I don't use the Most High's name. I'm not gonna tag it on the freeway because I've seen it. I've seen fake Israelites do it. Tag it on the freeway and give someone the opportunity to deface the holy name of God.
Good night.
Give, you know what I mean? Give someone else the opportunity to tag over it. And now people, the onlookers seeing it like it's being disrespected. That's the person that put it there in the first place took it in vain. They put it in that position to be disrespected. I'm not gonna put it on. I'm not gonna, put the Most High's name. What is it called? Not embossed, but
what do you mean?
Stitching.
Like embroidered?
Embroidery. I'm not gonna get it embroidered on my jacket or embroidered on my shoes and then step in mud. You understand? You're taking the name of the Most High man. You lose your jacket, then someone, that is not in the truth gets your jacket from Goodwill, and they're smoking cigarettes, and the name of the Most High is on the right shoulder.
If I may say,
go ahead.
Because what you're bringing out, this ties into the idol worship and the graven image. Like you said, we don't take the Lord's name in vain, because what brothers and sisters will do in the world, like how you're saying, you take the Most High's name, like you said, you put it on, I don't know, like your boots or whatever, your shoe, whatever. Like you said, you step in some mud, you step in some dog crap, whatever. Now, what people, even the person who may be wearing it, they may think like, oh my goodness, I just got, this dirt or this, manure or whatever on the Most High's name. Now look at you. You worshiping the shoe. You shouldn't be worshiping no shoe. The Most High's name should never even be on there. And if I could real quick, this isn't anything new. What the priest brought up earlier, like keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and fearing the Most High is what's really important, right? Because there's a lot of people that know who we are. Like, don't ever think that nobody knows who we are. People know who we are. People know who the Israelites are. People from other countries know who the Israelites are. That's cute. Okay. I know it's still going on with Kyrie and Kanye. Before that, it was Ice Cube and Nick Cannon and Whoopi Goldberg. Who knows who is going to be next? Before that, it was Kodak and Kendrick. My point being is, your celebrity, so to speak, right, has now finally decided to leak out some information of who God's chosen people are. They decided to dip and dabble into the research that we've been putting out since 1969 to find out that they are God's chosen people. If I could real quick, I just wanted to get a quick precept. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 13, verse 23. I just wanted to cover something real quick. In verse 23, it says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. Meaning, you see these celebrities, like we've been bringing this out forever, real priests and prophets of the Most High. And now Kanye came out. We the real Jews. Okay, so what? The brother's still in the world. As you can see, the so-called Jewish man still has a hold over him. He's still probably sleeping around with Edomite women and whatnot, whom he may still be doing drugs. I don't know. The point is the brother's not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. It doesn't matter how much money this brother has. Money ain't the issue. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and fearing, like you said, the Most High is the real issue. And I'll just end it with this. And it says, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Meaning when we go out in the street and you see real priests of Israel who've been raised up, who've earned that title and put in the work to bring out this truth. It's been over 5 decades now. People look at us and think, well, who are you? You just Salakia, some nigga on the street. Who are you? You have no status. We're not concerned about you. Who are you to tell me who I am? And then, Lord forbid, you make one little mistake, they'll try to drag you down. Don't be that person. Right, you finding out that you one of God's chosen people, you need to come into the school in the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana. Don't be a fake Israelite, so to speak. Salakia, that's all I got on that. Mm-hmm. You want me to keep going?
Yep.
Khan, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Verse 9. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. Verse 10. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Mm-hmm. In it thou shalt shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, mm-hmm. thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Right.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day.
Right.
Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Right, and that is referring to the Sabbath day We were given the Sabbath day as a day of rest, a day where we were given the opportunity to not work. You understand? And if you were really, this law is for the employer. The law is focused on those who have the power to give people days off. And you're in a position of running a business. You don't make people work on the Sabbath. That's what this law is really talking about. When you read other precepts, of course, we've done many classes on this subject. The Sabbath day is for you. Mm-hmm. Like Christ said, man was not made for the Sabbath. The Sabbath was made for the man. Roughly paraphrasing. Take that day to do the things you wouldn't normally be able to do on days you work 2 to 12. You understand what I'm saying? Go to the gym. Go, watch the game with the brothers. Go, to the movies with your woman and kids. That's what you can do. But leave it up to Christians and fake Israelites. You got to sit in a dark room and eat deli meat.
Good night. Cold cuts,
deli meats, and goddamn Cocoa Puffs. That's not the Sabbath. That's not the spirit of the Sabbath. Right. Or like those brothers in the book of Maccabees, allow people to kill you and not fight because they think you're not going to fight back because it's a Sabbath day. You understand? And that's not true. Go ahead.
Calm, sir.
So rest. Do your thing on the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
And honoring your father and your mother is what? Honoring your father and your mother is taking care of them when they can't take care of themselves anymore. Just like they cared for you when you was a child. This is the first commandment with promise, like Peter said. That you may add years into your life. It's glorious in the sight of the Lord for you to take care of your parents when they can't take care of themselves. And I get it. Some of your parents don't want to be taken care of. And I mean, you only can do what you can. Your people might be alcoholics and, they not listening to you and you try, get counsel. Right. But if you're able-bodied, I wouldn't send my mother or father to no psych ward or, what's the nursing homes. Mm-hmm. If I got room in my house, I'm honoring my mother and my father, just like they wiped my behind when I was a baby. You understand? You have to spoon feed them or whatever they get up in age, man. You see, that's honoring your father and your mother. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 13. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Right, bearing false witness against your neighbor. When there will be an occasion where there's a situation and it was brought before the judges, right, or those who sat in Moses' seat, if there was an altercation between two brothers and there was a witness, that witness is not supposed to lie on somebody. You understand? Or deviate from the truth and cause someone to potentially die behind their lie. That's bearing false witness. You're a false witness. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 17. Uh-huh. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor. Covet thy neighbor's house.
Right. You're not supposed to covet or earnestly desire what someone else has. Mm-hmm. I don't look at the next man's woman like, damn, I want that. Or the next man's car, like, I want that. Why I can't have that? I wish I had that. Or the next man's anything, for that matter. Why? What's the deeper meaning behind this? Because you're omitting how grateful you should be for what you have. The woman you have, the transportation you have, the children you have, the garments you have, the food you have. You understand? Keep going.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Listen, that's not covet thy neighbor's wife. And guess what? You read them scriptures out. Brothers was doing that. Brothers was coveting. Brothers was worshiping other gods. Brothers was stealing, bearing false witness. Brothers was doing everything the Most High said not to do, and this is why we're here in San Bernardino.
Right.
All the way from Israel, we're here in San Bernardino. Mm-hmm. Like, it's trash. This is trash. And not on top of that, to add insult to injury, you got these people in the land of Israel claiming to be us. And you know, like, come on. Go ahead.
Khan. Nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Mm-hmm. Verse 18. And all the people saw.
That's it on that. Okay. And that's it. Those are like Christ said, if you want to inherit eternal life, man. Or no, someone came up to Christ and said, what is the greatest commandment? And Christ hit him with a cold response, and he said, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, and mind, and love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two hang all the law. Because if you love your neighbor as you love yourself, you're not going to sleep with his wife, you're not going to covet his wife, you're not going to covet his oxen, his cattle, his chariots. You understand? To the point where you steal it from him, right? And that's if you love your neighbor as yourself. You're going to fulfill you love your neighbor as yourself. If you fulfill that, you're going to fulfill not sleeping with the next man's wife, bearing false witness, because you wouldn't want anyone to do that to you. Right. You would not serve. If you love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, and mind, you're not going to serve false gods. You're going to honor the Sabbath day. You're going to honor holy days, etc. That's why he said on these two hang all the law.
Khan, if I may, sir, just to kind of piggyback what you just said, you know, a lot of people need to understand, for those who don't have a full understanding of the Bible, we keep bumping into the same thing of, you know, the New Testament doesn't matter, or the New Testament overwrites the Old Testament. What the priest just brought up was heavy, because on those two right there hangs the law, right? Just paraphrasing, meaning that if you're upholding the law, statutes, and commandments, which were established in the Old Testament, then you would be doing exactly what Christ is saying, right? A lot of people like to use this scripture to say that, oh, you know, the old law is done away with, when literally in the New Testament, Christ says, and I'm paraphrasing, I came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. He's literally telling you that the old law is not done away with. He even says, I'm paraphrasing again, Slaki, I believe it's in the book of John, chapter 46 and 47, where Christ says, again, paraphrasing, you know, if you follow Moses, you follow me. Now, what does that mean? The law of Moses, the Old Testament, right? The law, statutes, and commandments. You can't believe in Christ, in Yahushua Mashiach, and then say that the old law is done away with. Because nowhere in the scriptures does it say that the law is done away with. That precept that the priest just brought out, where it says on these two, you know, hang the law, Salakia, paraphrasing real quick, Christ is referencing the law, statutes, and commandments that were given to Israel, because like you said, if you're upholding these like we're supposed to, like we've been supposed to, like our ancestors were supposed to, we wouldn't be in this mess. We wouldn't be, you know, a San Bernardinite, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be in Chicago. We wouldn't be in Pensacola, Florida, or, you know, any of these ghettos, hoods, barrios, reservations. Good night. We wouldn't be in here. That's because we got to uphold to the law. So, like, that's all I got for that.
All right. No, that's right. Was there any more on that? That's it on that, right?
That's it on that.
Let me see. All right. So yeah, that's Exodus, the 20th chapter. It's good to always go over the milk of the scriptures. I know a lot of times we want to go into like the prophecies of Daniel, Revelation, Ezekiel 38, and that's great, and you should. But I strongly encourage you, if you're not, you know, you should definitely study the milk more. Get into that, study those laws, what you can and cannot do, especially if you're just coming into the truth. I've been in the truth some years, but the milk is the bread and butter. That's what's, you know, going to reel brothers and sisters in. So, you know, with that, we're going to conclude the Sabbath service.
You understand? We encourage you to make it to the cookout if you're in the area, or if you need to catch a flight, make it to the cookout December 1st through the 4th in Las Vegas, Nevada, hosted by Captain Gadalhar and Police Officer Shabal, holding it down out there in Las Vegas, Nevada, with the core brothers out there. They're going to do, as always, an amazing job hosting. What else coming up? Purim and Hanukkah is coming up. Mm-hmm. Be on the lookout for that. If you're in the area, or contact your local ISUPK school and make sure you join, the classes, the feast days, and really learn how to serve God and be a righteous, what it means to embody being righteous as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. And that's very important in today's time because we see what's going on in the world. So we got to make those changes. Mm-hmm. Good. All right.
Come, sir.
Majim. Go his prayers. Sorry, face me. Sorry.
Laya Sharala.
Sorry, face me. Sorry. It's left. It's like this.
Oh, sorry.
That way your right hand is in Barak. All right, Mighty Wapanyah Padam, which means to stand and face the east. We're going to throw up these prayers. You need a water bottle?
I'll get one after, so I'm spoiled.
Water. Throw up these prayers. We're going to throw up the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwavka, Tabah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Ayah, Hashemayim, Thelanawa, Kam, Call, Yawam, Masalakanawa, Kabawathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathinawa, Wala, Abiyanawa, Benasayawan, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapara, Lawalamium, Aman.
The Lord's Prayer in the English.
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Thy
kingdom come.
Thy
will be done.
In earth.
As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the glory.
Forever. So be it. Hakak, or the power. In English, in Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Babakushah, Nathalanawa, Hakak, Rapah, Kol, Makala, Wakal, Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha, Matazrayim, Hakak, Lahaquayim, Hamathium, Hakak, Isle, Rakawath, Tamala, Lagarasham, Ba'asham, Yahushai, the water, Amun.
This is Hakak, which is the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please. Give us the power.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease.
The
power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
So be it. The blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Me'ak Alam, Wa Alahayim, Matazabia, Alawap Yahana, Ha'alawapim, Hasarunyim, Hakwatazayanim, Hakayayoyim, Wa Ha'akwati, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, the water. Amen.
The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the
angels.
Commanding General Yahweh.
Commanding General Yahweh. The generals.
The
captains.
The
officers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayinya, All, Aryam, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'aratazah, Al, Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, All, Yanawam, Shemarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Ayad, Yaminka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarach, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazavka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'ida, Wa'ai, Iwalam.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
My help
cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth.
He
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber. Behold. He that keepeth Israel. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade. Upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee. From all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thee from thy going out
and thy coming in.
From
this time forth,
and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, all, Damaya, Laka, all, Zakarash, Wa'al, Lashakwat, all, Kaya, Hana, Awayibyaka, Yahamayawan, Ra'ash, Al, Imaka, Ya'ayamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Yaitazawa, Al, Tazapawanika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Anakakidum, Magaya, Wala, Ezekar, Shum, Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Noah, Atazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Laka, Baryath, Slaga, Ayuka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Alaya, Adawam, Wa, Yashmaliam, Mawaba, Wahagarim, Gabal, Waimawan, Waimalak, Halashath, Amishabian, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zerawai, Labunya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sarah, Kayabian, Benakal, Koyashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, Ladama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kaira, Kazaba, Kazabach, Katazalmanai, Call, Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nairashah, Lanawa, Af, Nawa, Alahayim, Shayatamwa, Kagagala, Kakwash, Lapunya, Raka, Ka'ash, Abaira, Yaira, Wa, Kalaba, Alahat, Haryam, Kan, Taradatma, Basairaka, Wabasa, Wapathka, Abahalam, Mala'ah, Punyaham, Pulawan, Waya, Wakwashwa, Shemka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Wahalwa, Wayai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Yaiwa, Kaya, Ata, Shemka, Yahweh, Labatka, Ayawan, Hawko, Hawratza.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
And hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo, thine enemies make atonement.
Thine enemies make atonement.
And they that hate. Have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted. Against thy hidden ones. They have said. Come. And let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel. Maybe no more to remember. They have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
Gabal.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Esau also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zeed. Yea. All their princes. As Zabah. And as Almunah. Who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. As the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute
with
thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. Oh Lord. Let them be confounded. And troubled. Forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth.
Sorry. All right, with that, that'll conclude this week's Sabbath service.